You're whining plenty enough. 3, 2, 1.
First time caller, long time listener. Thanks for all the cake. You're listening to Cake, Chris and Ketty Experience.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to C.A.K.E, the Chris and Ketty Experience. This is episode number
10? 9? 10. 9.
It's one of those.
One of them.
So here's the thing about oh, hold on. I can't reach my wine glass. This is my wine glass.
You did that on purpose.
Cheers.
Oh,
God.
God.
What?
I hate the slosh sounds. It's like in my ear. Please.
Okay. Let me get a glass like a gentleman. Oh, God.
You already drank from the glass.
Well, we're going to drink it all anyway.
Well, this is something we could have done before, as I asked. And here we are.
I'm a problem.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Okay, if you say the F word, our podcast, we're going to have to bleep that now, okay? We have to keep our podcast PG-13, okay? Mm-hmm. In order to get more listeners, okay?
Yeah, they can't handle.
They can't handle it. All right, here's a legitimate question for you guys who've been watching us for a while. And this includes the podcast or even my little film photography videos. What kind of room is this behind us? There's a door behind us. What room is that? What's in that room? You tell me. If you know, you know. If you don't, you literally don't.
Hint, it's the baby room.
So, yep, that is a pretty good hint. So, a lot's happened, and I think what we have to do before we get fully started is some good old-fashioned updates. Careful. Oh, that's so loud. Less loud. Okay. And if it spills on my computer, I've got Apple Care, and you got enough money to replace it, so should be good. So, yeah, we got to do some updates, okay? What have we missed? One, there was an election.
Oh, we're talking about that.
Well, I felt after we do like our time kept caught up thing, we'll do like channel updates and like our plans for 2025, and then we'll do the stories.
Oh, you planned this episode?
I did.
I didn't have to do it?
No, you did. But like this part's gonna take 15 minutes.
Because you was gonna explain to me what
Y2K
is.
I know that's not even gonna take that long.
Oh, okay. You said it would take 15 minutes.
Well, as soon as you tell me how you feel about the damn election, maybe we'll get to Y2K.
Well, as far as options went, I didn't like either.
You said as far as auctions?
Options,
okay.
So I wasn't gonna be happy either way.
Yeah.
But I would have been less upset had the results were different.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty fucking upset. Bleep.
Oh yeah, great. I feel like this was kind of inevitable, because of what Kamala was offering. It's December, so we got plenty of hindsight. It's been over a month. You know, she's offering more of the same. Obama ran on change, and look at what that got him, elected. And Trump is at least legitimately running on change, even though it's terrible. And I think for all of the legitimately fascist shit that he says, that maybe he's just running his mouth. This is me being hopeful, because hope is a good thing to have. I'm still prepared for the worst. You best believe you me. I got several rifles hanging on the walls, 10 bug out bags. I got MREs out the ass. That's where you keep them at, all right? You know how to heat them up. You know about the microwavable bags. I know you do, because you got problems too. Anyway, so I'm good, right? We're cool there. I'm just kind of feels like my analogy's been that sometimes you have to put your hand on a hot stove and burn it to learn that the stove's hot. Maybe America as a country is about to learn a lesson. And to tie into that lesson, there was one thing that did bring the left and the right together.
Luigi Mangione. Free Luigi.
Free Luigi. Have you guys seen that video? Free Luigi. Dude just like sticks his head up the fucking. It's hilarious. Anyway, so
Luigi's condition sucks. Anyway, that was a story.
That was a story. That happened. And the left and the right all came together to say, hey, healthcare sucks. And so I've been talking about this with some other people, Ketty, and my question for you is this.
Yeah.
If the suckage of healthcare is essentially where people are like, hey, maybe that shouldn't be a for-profit system, right? And on the left and the right, we're kind of starting to agree on that.
Excuse me?
Oh my God, you heard that?
Yes.
Is he putting his hand?
That was so clear.
It was. I'm sorry, I can't get him. Can you get him? Take your headphones off.
Oh, my baby.
Sorry, guys. You know what? I'm gonna ask you now, while Marquetta goes and lets in our child. So if the left and the right have been brought together about how healthcare sucks and how we need to do something about it, is there? Yeah, close it. Close the door. He's in here with us. Quick, before he comes and steals your seat. What else is there? Like, let's say Donald Trump, being the populist that he is like, I hear it, I understand. I'm going to do universal health care for all. We're going to call it Trump care. It's going to be the best. It's going to be built like Europe.
Trump care. You're taking it from me.
Okay. Marquetta said it. But, let's say he does that, right? And he does this. What's the next thing? What's the one other thing or two other things?
But he has a concept of a plan.
Had a concept. But legitimately, what else is there that brings the American people together in a general hatred of it? It would be a system, but what other systems are?
Apparently.
No. It's not fascism, because half of us don't understand what fascism actually is.
Okay, well, mass deportation would fall under that category, and there were a lot of good people holding signs about that. So,
Comrade Cat, I think you're missing the question. I'm
what's
asking
the question?
you. Healthcare sucks. Left and right agrees on that. We want to change it. What is the other things left and right agree on that we like? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That you could be like, oh, let's change it then. What else is it? Okay, we can all agree that stuff's too expensive, but I don't think we have a way to actually change it.
Dietary standards.
Okay. So the old RFK.
Yeah. Although I definitely don't agree with the raw milk chugging.
Did you know that some people are doing? You know what some people do to their raw milk before they drink it?
They just shave off cow's hair and just sprinkle it in.
Some people boil it before they drink it.
Extra rawness.
Some people, they boil it before they drink it.
Why?
Just to make sure it's clean and clear and stuff.
Isn't it pasteurization?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. But here's the thing: pasteurization sounds scary, and it sounds like there's chemicals involved. But
it's like
boiling the milk.
Is it
to
like
get the bacteria out?
The Goop lady?
Yeah, when she
drinks the
electrolyte waters with lemon juice.
Water.
Yeah. Alkaline water with lemon in it is no longer alkaline. You've added. So that's all.
You've added acid.
You've added acid.
Yeah. Well, so the dietary. It's.
But
it's crazy because there's statements that we can agree on both sides are true, but our solutions that we offer to fix those, statements, we address problems with these statements, but then to solve these problems, we go in wildly different directions, like, for example, there should be more transparency about what's in vaccines and what is side effects, what are some of the things that have happened to people that are legitimately something that the general public should know, versus let's just live like feral people and drink raw milk out of the tit and
RFK's
just have polio forever.
He's like, we're gonna do they're doing a study on the polio vaccine, but it's been safe and around for so long that it's okay, what are you thinking? Why are you attacking the polio vaccine?
Yeah.
And, I get it. People are over, look, if you don't want to get your flu shot and you don't want to get your COVID shot anymore, don't anymore. You literally, I think we're past that part. You don't have to get it. Maybe you'll catch it every winter. Maybe you'll be fine, right?
See, but also, if you don't trust Big Pharma and you want them to, come out and say, what's in the shit that they're selling. Just
pure unadulterated autism. Weapons grade autism.
No, but honestly, mainly because of how much they charge for it. Because the ingredients honestly probably aren't that expensive. It's more like the research that went into it. But eventually it's paid off. Why does EpiPen at this point cost $300?
Healthcare. So, bro, get your whole entire ass out of my face here. I know you want to get comfortable.
This podcast is chaos. I didn't even know we were going to talk about this.
Free Louise.
Obviously,
no,
free Luigi. We stand with Luigi.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you.
I'm not saying that murdering people is okay, but I also think that some people had it coming.
Damn.
And I'm not
gonna
saying
say this.
I'm not saying that I don't know this dude. I don't know the CEO person, but I feel like personally, and this is my inner commie belief coming in.
Ooh, super commie.
After you've earned, let's say, $1 billion, your first $1 billion,
Yeah.
you get a diploma, you get a little stamp, you did it, good job.
Yeah.
Anything you make after that is going somewhere. It's going
Early
to fix
childhood
the roads.
development.
It's going so that women don't have to pay $100,000 for their labor.
Hey, it's
America.
Comrade labor. Yeah, I'm following you.
No.
Oh, that
that
kind of
labor.
labor. Oh, there goes the cat.
Yeah. So, $1 billion. I think it's good for the people. It is good for you too if you have that kind of money, because I think it's kind of making people sick.
Hold on, real quick.
Once they have a certain amount of money, it's kind of
No, yeah.
things turn off, like empathy and things like that.
Let me see
are
something real
just
quick. Hold on.
Non-existent. Yes.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh
What
my
are
God.
you doing?
Just moving. My headphones are that loud.
It's this.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I have to fix that.
Or you cannot move. How about you don't move for the rest of the podcast?
I don't know that I'm capable of doing that. All right, y'all. This is going to be a break from a message from our sponsors.
Shitty wine. El Gato Negro. Sponsoring this podcast. And Chris is fat ass.
My ass is fat, then what's yours?
A dope truck. What did ass do?
Shit.
It would be more concerning if you said not shit.
I'm not gonna lie. This cable makes way less noise. Let's see. Beautiful. All right. Where's mine? Is this me?
Yeah.
And back from our sponsors. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Shout out to Gato Negro.
Yeah, got the Negro hooking it up. Black cat, white wine. You know how we do around here. All right, cool. So, channel update. Ketty.
That's it. We're not talking now. Okay, never mind.
Well, no, you got more about the
I was
politics?
just getting started. No. It's fine.
So, channel
I
update.
don't want to get canceled.
Yeah, don't do that to us. We're not. You get us canceled. We're not even started yet. All right. So, channel updates. Here is the thing, guys. We have goals that we're trying to meet. We're trying to make. We got a baby. We just did our budget, and it turns out that every extra
is it
available
a channel update? Or
no, it is because it's getting there. Every extra available dollar is going to go to daycare if we do it right.
Okay.
Or
You're
maybe
fundraising now?
No. Let me. I'm not fundraising. All right. I'm having fun raising your blood pressure. How about that?
It's working.
All right. So look. All right. Threw me off. What's in your wine? What I'm saying is this.
The truth.
We're gonna have to. Can I fire you? Is that possible?
No, baby. I got the notes.
No, you do. Otherwise, I have no idea what this podcast is about. Listen, what I'm saying is this. All right, I need to be on a more concrete schedule to upload this podcast. All right, to do better, to grow this brand that is the House of Black and White, aka C.A.K.E, aka the Chris and Ketty experience. To be able to afford to put our little chibi child into the daycare. That's all. So we working towards that. So in the year of 2025, our Lord, we're gonna be posting more often. That's the plan, and we got some extra kind of content planned, but Mama always said, don't talk about it, just do it. So I won't tell you about that, but you'll see it when it pops up.
I was going to say that we literally, every podcast, keep saying that, it's going to be more frequent. And then we're like, 1 month later, hey,
Yeah, but
that episode's out.
We've got the infrastructure built. We've got the motivation. And we got all the reasons. Our why has been answered, you know, in the old, you're starting a business. We got we got all that. All right. And on top of that, my mom comes and she watches the baby, and we can do this, or we found a way to put the baby asleep ahead of time. And instead of putting the baby to sleep and then coming downstairs and doing the nasty a whole bunch, we can do the podcast. The podcast is the new nasty. You know?
That's hot.
It is hot. It's actually pretty warm down here. So that's my part of the channel update. Do you have any channel update stuff?
I mean, it's our channel, so I figured that you spoke for both of us.
Yeah, but I mean, did I forget anything? I'll leave anything out. You got anything you want to add? You're very opinionated. Oh my God.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
While I speak, you literally remove. Wow, this is some high class sexism in this bitch.
Shut up.
I guess I have no notes for this one specifically.
No, you do.
No, I don't.
Look, I fixed it. Okay, so yeah, what's I was just trying to check my notes for the podcast and I exploded the camera. What's your update? You got any updates you want to add?
I will say that thanks to you guys and your time watching our videos and paying attention, commenting, sharing videos, liking, you know, showing all the love and support, has finally put us at a place where we can begin monetizing our videos. So thank you so much for that. We needed 4,000 public hours or something like that.
That's a whole stone of miles.
And 1,000 subscribers. The 1,000 subscribers we got over pretty quickly, but it took us a while to get to the watch time. And it is thanks to you guys and the attention that you dare spare for us. So thank you.
Ooh, hell yeah. Nice. All right.
Yep. So now with 16 minutes in, we're going to talk about the topic of today's podcast.
I'm sorry, because you're dead wrong.
Yeah?
Because for the next 15 minutes, I'm about to yell at you about Y2K.
Yeah, and this is that's just the prelude, because the podcast is actually about to be about something else. We're going to talk about the things that we were taught as kids and whether or not we're going to keep that lore for our child as well.
I think the word might be tradition, even though we're very non-traditional.
Or whether we will change any of this. I have a lot that I want to keep and a lot that I want to 100% change. So,
yeah, I don't think I'll be thinking of the stuff I want to change. I mostly thought of the stuff I want to keep. And before we get into that, before I tell you about Y2K, I almost said 9/11. We're going to do the Czech word of the day. Since we're talking about our childhoods and children, the Czech word of the day is dívka.
Dívka.
Which means little girl.
A little girl.
Not to be confused with...
Hey, it was one word.
Devka, which means...
a whore.
As in a legitimate sex worker, correct?
Yes.
I would like to say that again. Devka, sex worker.
No, it's
Dívka,
not. It's more like
little kid.
It's really more like...
Whore?
A hoe.
Like you
It's
dirty
like-
slut.
No, it's a bad word.
If
It's like you want to call somebody, whether or not they're engaging in hoe activities, a hoe.
But let's say you're in the throes of dirty talk. Would this one be an okay one to throw out there?
No.
Because you know how somebody be like, oh yeah, you little bitch, or call someone a slut. Calling someone a slut's kind of sexy.
Yeah.
This isn't that.
No.
This is like, you fucking gutter whore.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Do not confuse dívka and děvka.
Why
It will
not?
get you in trouble.
Dívka, little girl. Devka, no. Ta-da! Check. All right, so Y2K. Marquetta.
Yes, finally tell me about this mythical Y2K.
I just think it's so weird.
It's taken so long.
I just think it's so weird you don't know about it. It's one.
Yeah, you know, it's wilder that I haven't Googled it since then. Like, come on, tell me.
All right, listen. All right, let's say you were going. Okay, today's date. Okay, I want you to say what today's date is using 6 digits. Go.
12, 19, 24.
All right, cool. Now, let's say it was 24 years ago today. How would you say those digits?
It's what?
24 years ago today. How would you say those digits?
12, 19. I don't know.
Bum, bum, bum.
2K?
00. The computers go crazy. Planes fall out of the sky. Banks delete every single thing anyone's ever put into them. The end of the world is happening because we've started betting and using everything in our lives on computers. The year is 1999. Motherfuckers just now realize that. Well, am I too loud?
A little bit.
I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
The year is 1999. People suddenly realize that as the clocks tick over, computers are going to go from being 99 to 00. They will not think it is the year 2000. They will think it is the year 0. And when that happens, all hell is going to break loose. Planes fall out of the sky.
Oh.
The space shuttle crashes into the moon, breaking the moon, fulfilling the
Jesus
prophecies
come
of
back?
Revelation. Huh?
Will the Jesus come back?
Yes, the Jesus, specifically the bass player from Gym Class Heroes, will indeed come back. So, yeah, Y2K was happening.
Okay.
And now, so that
we were saying Y2K so that we would prevent the apocalypse?
well, we thought the apocalypse was happening in the year 2000 because computers were too jazzed up. And also...
Okay. Why did you give computers cocaine?
We couldn't help it. And because Christians are big and around numbers, and, if it's the year of our Lord 2000, or like 2000 years seems like a good time for Jesus to come back to prevent the computers from killing us all. I don't know.
Where were you in 2012?
2012?
Yeah. Wasn't it the Mayan calendar apocalypse end of the world?
Yeah, which is fun fact I know it's now. I know we exist and live in now, but calendars have to stop, and he was writing this shit on stone. Eventually you get to the end. What are they supposed to write a calendar forever? An infinity calendar? You have to stop. Okay, so calm down. Anyway, for 2012, you could find me back at the Brookside Manor, a.k.a. the Legion of Doom. I was graduating college, living my best life with my friends. For that 4th of July, I shot 2 shotguns out of the back window of my house. There was also a girl crying on my front porch. I stepped on a piece of glass.
All right. I regret asking
Beautiful.
you because we pivoted from Y2K.
Yeah, but the point is that the computers were going to kill us all, okay? That was one of the conspiracies. And now...
Like Matrix style?
Maybe. Matrix came out in 2001, so probably not Matrix style. We didn't have Matrix yet. So anyway, all the computers had to be updated, and there was like a worldwide attempt to get all the computers to get used to the idea that 00 is going to be the next year and not the first year ever, thus by breaking everything. And then this game called Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, and they said that a bunch of terrorists or a government secretive organization used that update that every computer had to have to, hack the world and like change the future or some shit. So that's Y2K, man. You missed out. The world was supposed to end then. And then it was 9/11 shortly after, and the world was supposed to end then. And then it was 2012.
That's it?
Yeah, man. We all thought the world was going to end. I was 11. Everybody kept telling me it was going to end. Have you been 11 before? If an adult tells you the world's going to end, you believe that shit.
So some admin personnel, some sloth from DMV had to like press a button so that the world wouldn't end, and that's all you're telling me Y2K was?
You weren't here for it. It was going to be the end. Also, you don't know this either, but when the new year happens in Gary, or at least in East Chicago, there's so many guns and fireworks and dynamite that it sounds like the end of the world. I was pretty convinced.
I mean, that was my first year in the U.S., so...
Yeah, so you've heard it. Couple that with the idea that the world's actually ending and be 11.
Fair point.
Right? I just masturbated for the first time. I wasn't ready to die.
Okay.
TMI?
Maybe.
All right. And that leads us to the actual portion of the podcast. The actual thing we're talking about.
Such a great segue, Chris. I'm glad you brought it up.
Y2K is insane. You missed it. You lived through an apocalypse. You had no idea.
Yep. That's how resilient I am.
Resilient, comrade. Sure thing.
All right. So that was very insightful, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing.
I want the internet to know that
Y2K adventures.
this is how she does me when I talk about something I'm really into and she doesn't care. She sits and listens quietly and she treats me like a teacher. And then at the end she goes, "Oh, that's very nice." And I'm like, "Yeah, I told you everything." She's like, "Oh my God, you're so smart. Is there anything else?" Somehow she's crouching down to me with her hands on her lap. She's like, "Is there anything else?" And I'm like, "Well." So yeah, thanks. All right, cool. Let's talk about the damn podcast.
You're welcome, babe.
Don't you pat me on the knee.
Oh.
I'm a big kid. Y2K was scary.
Honestly, I remember 2012 was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I feel like the Czech TV, like Czech news, don't really have much to report on. So
Yeah.
when there's like a thing to latch onto, they like really milk it out. So like the Mayan calendar thing was on and popping in Czech.
Okay.
It was crazy.
No, you're not coming in anymore.
Why you let him out?
He let himself
wanted
out.
To be here.
He didn't. He sat at the door. He wanted to go out. He wants the door open.
Yeah. Did he scream about it?
He doesn't get to make the rules. We make the rules.
Well, he screamed.
That's it? You're going to capitulate to this sad cat?
Yes.
That's all I got to do to get you to do the things that I want? Meow sadly for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that in mind. Oh, my God. All right. Internet, I'm going to explain what happened. Marquetta just pooted so hard she knocked over 2 pillows. And she almost fell. And now it smells like bolognese butt in here.
Come on, Bodhi. Get in here. Get in here. Come on.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. We're not a very professional podcast.
Bolognese butt.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, well, that's fine. It does smell. No, for real? Are you surprised by this?
Oh, look.
What is
I
that?
did.
You farted a pin? It's the walrus from Codenames. Codenames is a manga written by Nehemiah. Shout out to Nehemiah. All right.
Lying.
So
It's another one of your made-up facts.
you're a made-up fact.
What
Anyway,
the fuck?
let's get into whatever the hell your notes say.
Well, I mean, I thought, Chris, that you had notes too.
I tried to open my notes and it broke my phone.
Well,
All right, look, I'm going to try to open my notes and not...
today we decided to talk about things that you just kind of reflect on our childhood and suss out the things that we were taught that we think were good lessons by our ancestors.
Is
then
that what we're calling our parents? Not that
they
old.
are our ancestors. And then, some things that maybe they didn't quite could have done better. And then we will talk about those too.
Okay, well, listen, my mom is currently upstairs right now babysitting our daughter. I'm not going to be talking about things she could have done better. All right, I'm just going to stick to things that maybe I wouldn't do. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We're saying the same thing.
Nope,
but
no, we're not. One of them sounds negative, and the other one sounds just like a fact. A fact.
All right. Well, so would you like to start, or do you want me to?
Yeah.
So you want to start off the good things,
Yeah.
or just the things you want to 100% keep?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start then.
You just asked if I wanted to start.
You start then.
Okay. I would like for my child to be outside a lot. I think that the
now,
problem with the
define
youth nowadays.
outside.
Well, I was a neighborhood kid. We was outside riding bikes, doing silly neighborhood stuff, nigga knocking. That was fun, but we didn't.
Define
that
activity.
My child can't do it, but I'll define it. So, nigga knocking is when you go to someone's door and you turn around backwards and you kind of horse kick the door as hard as you can before you run away.
Like stink meter?
Yes. No, but you're backwards so that way you can kick even harder. Like a mule, kind of.
Okay.
We did it this one time in the projects and the door came off and it landed in the kitchen.
How are you alive?
And it was like this family of 4 just sitting there staring at us.
Yeah, I don't know how you are alive.
I'm very fast. But I don't want to do hooligan shenanigans. I would like for her to go outside. Okay? Outside friends. I'm talking bike riding, rollerblading, sports, but just like going out and having fun. All right? Like I think that and this includes myself, that a lot of people are chronically online, and I think, maybe kids today might be chronically online. I don't want that. I want her to experience the world, which I know means that, because this is complicated, like you want to set somebody up for success in the future, and I think that understanding how online works can set you up for that success, but I also think you can learn that in your teenage years pretty fast. And I want her to be adept at outside. Because I also think that if I didn't go outside, I wouldn't have stories to tell. I wouldn't have life experience, and I wouldn't be able to sit here and BS with you on this podcast about nothing. You know what I mean? Because it'd be like, oh, well, I spend most of my time online. Let me tell you my fun online stories, which I know some people got, but all my fun stories exist in the real world with real world consequences, and those are important to learn. Go outside.
Okay. I have that too, kind of.
But you mean something different.
Yeah, because I was raised in like a very small town and an even tinier village, are surrounded by nature and greenery. So, you know, if me and my friends went out on bikes, it was like, you know, through like a trail in the woods into like a meadow. Like we were in nature. And my dad also like took me on like really long walks into like hikes in nature, and I've always enjoyed it. And I think my dad really instilled like nature stewardship into me as a value.
Ooh,
And
I'm with that.
That is something that I 100% want to implore on our child.
Yeah, I think that one's easy enough. We both are outside people. We like nature, so.
I have a tattoo about it. It says "Be a good ancestor." You can't see it.
I have one too. You can see it. Well, you can't because
Mine is better.
Okay, just because why? Why's it better?
It has a flower.
Oh yeah, sure.
And it's in color.
Here's a thing that I think happened to me at a young age that shouldn't have. I watched it. I would like it if I have more control over what my child watches. But here's the thing.
Okay, we're talking screen time.
No, not quite screen time, but we're talking about like, because it's okay, but like my mom didn't give me.
No, you're talking about watching it when you shouldn't have.
Yeah, but that's not a screen time has the word time in it. It's specifically about how much of something you watch. I'm talking about the content that is being watched.
I think screen time includes both time and content. If you spend 5 minutes of your, you know, you have 5 minutes screen time a day, but you spend it watching something you shouldn't have, it's
beheading
really bad
videos.
for you.
Yeah, good point. All right, fine. I'm there. You're right. Well, the thing is that not that my mom like sat me down and was like, watch it. I think it was a bunch of other kids watching, and I just like sat down and watched. She probably didn't even know, or she did. She wouldn't have known what it was, right? Because I don't know, like the ubiquitous of knowing like what something is back in the day wasn't really the case. But now we know, right? And we can check, and there's all these tools and all that, and we literally watch TV for a living. So we're kind of adept at knowing what things are. So I don't think that'll quite be the case, but also balancing screen time. But I think one of the ways to balance screen time. Screen?
Aww.
You want the better screen time? Baby?
You're so cute.
It's the El Gato Negro and the black and white El Gato right here. Blanco y Negro. It's going outside. Literally. Like, that's the other thing, too. Like, hey.
Yeah. Well,
right, go outside. There's no screens out there.
One of my favorite memes is when boomers tell kids to go outside and then picture of the outside that they built.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of the urban areas in the United States is, and even rural areas is very not great.
Yeah.
For being outside. Whether when you want to get somewhere to hang out with friends, generally you will just, unless you live in a huge city with public transportation, you will need a car to get there. Everything is far apart, and then it's really inconvenient, and it makes me really sad.
Without attempting to dox ourselves, the neighborhood we currently live in would
Our
be
neighborhood is nice.
Wonderful. I can count 1, 2 parks within easy walking distance, a third one that's a little further of a walk, but a super easy bike ride, and several other very fun things to do that are all close enough.
Definitely. But
like, this would be a crazy neighborhood to be like preteen / teenager in. Sure. I would love it.
Sure. But I will once again contrast it with my experience and the fact that I had friends in, you know, my like little neighborhood, obviously, but you know, sometimes you lose friends, sometimes you like get into an argument or something. I had to like meet other kids eventually.
Yeah.
And I met one of my friends in high school who lived like 40 kilometers away in this like other village. And I was able to hang out with her without nagging my parents constantly to give me a ride, because I could just hop on a bus to see her.
Oh, so I hear what you're saying. You know what? If only your husband grew up in a place that had free public transportation as well.
Did you?
Oh, that's right. I did. Hell yeah. East Chicago had free buses. We used
That's
to hop
good.
on the bus and just like ride around. The only downside is because of gang activities. Each neighborhood was a different gang, so we really didn't affiliate or talk with other people. I wasn't in a gang, but I was obviously from a different neighborhood. That kind of shit could get you beat up. So
Yeah.
wearing the wrong colors could get you messed up. But regardless, we would hop on the bus and just kind of ride the buses all day. When we first moved to Indianapolis, we
Yeah.
got on the buses one day, and we thought the buses were free down here, and they're like, it's going to be like 75 cents, so we paid. And we rode the bus all the way to the end of the line, and we thought we'd turn around, and they were like, you have to pay again. And we're like, what? You got to pay for the bus? So I get that. Here, you're right. But with the neighborhood situation, I'm saying, how old are you when you're riding a bus?
When I started riding a bus by myself?
Yeah. I was about 10 or 11.
I was about 7.
Okay. So let's say our kid is about 10 or 11 and they want to ride the bus. Here, if they're trying to get to some place to hang out with some other kid, it literally wouldn't make sense because of how our public transportation works here in Indy. So yeah, we would have to give her a ride. Or if she's going with other kids, I'd be like, all y'all ride your bikes together. I mean, that's also what we used to do too. We would go when we were going far, we would go out in a group of like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Because, there's strength within numbers. And also the neighborhood I lived in was constrained by landmarks that like prevented you from doing anything stupid. So like I've taken you through the neighborhood before, but I never really gave you like the geographical layout. On one side of the neighborhood, it ends and there's all factories and railroads, and there's nothing there, so you can't go past that. The other side was like a couple of neighborhoods, but they didn't go very far because they were also stopped by tank farms. And then there was a smelting company on the other side, and that one went for a really long time. And there's a neighborhood at the end of that I had my grandma's sister stayed in, and we would ride our bikes out there occasionally, but like it stopped. So like there was nothing, you know what I mean? Like if you were going there, there was destination spots because there's so much stuff that broke up everything that it was like, yeah, there's nothing to do in between, and you can't sneak into the smelting place. So you just went straight to wherever. So yeah.
It's probably a good thing.
I can still smell it. It smells like a nosebleed.
Gross. Okay.
Next.
Next thing that I would like to keep is home cooking.
Good old home cooking.
My mom would cook like all the time, and occasionally my dad would as well. And I grew up eating food made at home, and we would occasionally go out to eat. And on that rare occasion, I always ordered a bunch of fries because we didn't have a fryer at home.
We should watch my plus size.
That
Elf.
is why I have issues with self-control when it comes to fries. But still think that was a good thing that, I grew up in a household that, there was a lot of cooking and just activities in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So it's something I want to keep around for sure.
Same. I mean, we had that too. We only went out to eat when it was a special occasion, or me and the boys would save up money and ride our bikes to Burger King, which was like the closest fast food. But there was also there's a lot of mom and pop shops in the neighborhood, and we would eat there occasionally, but it was always like, my mom was always cooking. She's like, it just makes the most amount of sense. Also, she taught me how to cook. And I think that that's important too, is like, not just my mom's always in the kitchen or my dad's always in the kitchen, but coming in the kitchen and learning, making it a family activity, teaching his kids how to cook. Do you remember the first thing you learned how to cook?
Probably eggs.
Yep, same. Scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs is the easiest thing to learn how to cook. You just scramble them eggs.
Yeah.
My phone died.
Probably hot dog. Just put them in water.
Boil them. Yep, hot dogs is probably second. Just literally. So we would do hot dogs in the microwave. You just put it in the water. They're hot dogs. They're not gourmet. You stick it in a bowl of water. You put it in the microwave for 5 minutes.
So, I am more open to microwave cooking now, but my family is like extremely against microwaves for some reason.
That's so old school.
I don't know why, but I just like. It's never like I don't even think about it. Like when I pull out a frozen food from Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Like there is instructions for like microwave, stovetop, or an oven, and I usually go for the stovetop by default because I just like my mind doesn't. It just rejects that as an option. It doesn't recognize that as an option.
Well, listen, guys. The breakdown of the one household income and the middle class means that you don't really have time to make these big old dinners all the time, okay? Eating out is just a shortcut because the truth is that you don't have time. Your time is being eaten up. You got to make more dollars, all right? You got to make more money, which means it's got to be popped in the microwave, and then it's got to be given to the kid. If we're going to do a home-cooked meal, you want to sit down, you want to make you a turkey? I ain't got time to make you no turkey. I got to start planning the turkey 3 days ago. We can't have no turkey. So all I'm saying is that, practicality. For our kids, she's going to get a lot of spaghetti meals because they're super easy to make. Except for that bolognese I made yesterday. Took so long. But it really wasn't that hard.
It didn't take that long.
It took like 40 minutes.
That's not long.
Who's got 40 minutes?
Oh my God.
What about you? Or I'm sorry, you just home cooking. Yeah, how long do you take to cook? It's the bad wine, babe. My brain's cooked.
Are you drunk?
No. I was
just
with a lot of kids. Yeah. I like that. I had an eclectic group of friends. We were like, I don't know, I'm going to call us a roving pack of animals that rolled around the neighborhood. But like, we lived in a small enough neighborhood that you just knew it, right? Like we used to do the old school thing where you'd go looking for somebody based off of whose bike's in the front of someone else's house. Mm-hmm. Except for we all had fences. We kept them inside the fence. You leave your bike out on the sidewalk, it's going to get took. That's just how it is. But like, I don't know. Like I don't want to. All right, so I watched this video essay not that long ago about Bob's Burgers and how Bob's kids leave out of the house and they're like semi-independent, right? Yeah. And I know that can, the idea of it being dangerous is actually dangerous. Most of bad things, knock on wood, I'm not gonna knock on that. Knock on wood. No one's knocking cat. Ugh. Most of the bad things that like can happen to people in general usually happen to people that are close to you, right? Stranger danger is real and you do need to be taught that. But like a lot of the main issues that can happen are much closer to home. So like going out, learning how to be a group of kids, learning how to be safe, watching out for one another. Like when I grew up and we moved down to Indianapolis and like I'd go out and see like just like people drinking, usually men's are okay because it's fine, but like just watching some girls like leave their girlfriend, like she's drunk and she's being too much, we're just gonna leave her. Like as kids we would never do that. We kind of grew up with that, like okay. And I know that there's plenty of reasons, adults are adults, but like just that mentality of being like, no, like if we're gonna do it, we'll do it together. We don't have to be glued to each other, but like, I don't know. As kids, you learn that kind of camaraderie that I think helps you to be like a part of a community. Mm-hmm. Your first community ever is your little community of hoodlums. And you grow up to learn how to be a part of a group, a part of a community, which is important. You should be an individual who can hold this shit down individually, but humans made it this far by working together. So working together is an important part of growing up and being a well-rounded individual, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Nice. We're checking. See, we agree on everything.
Okay. I have 2 more things that I want to keep that I like, remember with fondness and just want those to stay around.
Okay.
One is eating weird fruit on Christmas.
Oh yeah, we still do that.
This is something that my dad used to do. Like, so my dad would not go grocery shopping often. But when he did, he will buy some weird stuff. Yeah. And then we would just like eat it all the time. So, and this specifically often happened on like the Christmas day, where he would come home from the grocery store with a bunch of like fruit I've never seen before, like weird looking stuff. And we would just like cut it up and just like taste it and just talk about it. And it was always a good time. All
right. Sounds like an episode. What else? I agree with that one, obviously.
Yeah, and the other one is when the baby's sick, they're staying at home, as compared to not staying at home.
The hell are you? I mean, most of the time,
which happens a lot, Chris.
Do you know why?
I know, and it's a problem.
Yeah. I stayed at home.
I'm not blaming anybody as an individual, but systematically, this is a huge issue.
All right, this one's gonna go out to everyone that's my age or slightly older, all right? You stay at home. What are you doing? You're getting a 7-Up. You're getting chicken noodle soup. What are you watching? You're going to watch The Price is Right. You're going to watch any of the other daytime TV shows that come on. Soap operas, you're on that.
Yep.
That's all you do. Sit around. And if you're in the 90s, you're going to sneak and watch some Jerry Springer. You ain't even got to sneak. Nobody's at home. We're watching Jerry Springer.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
Okay. But yeah, I'm down with that too.
You know, I remember just like being on the couch sometimes when I was sick and just like laying there in front of the TV because there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes my mom would take like a day off, but sometimes I was home alone too.
Oh, how old? How old are you old enough to be home alone?
I think I was maybe like 7.
Damn, my mom's upstairs. I need to ask her. I have no idea how old I was when I got to be home alone. I do remember being home alone, but it was usually because like I'm sick. And so I wasn't, I don't know, the type of kid to like bail out. Like, I'm going to walk. I was just like sick. I was just trying to eat chicken noodle soup and chill out.
Yeah.
What you cook in the microwave.
Yeah. It's just, I'm bringing it up because, you know, in my nanny days here, I was kind of befuddled when I saw like kids being so like actually sick, like fever and stuff. And like, oh, you're going to drop them off in school. I'm like, what?
No, if I got a
What
fever,
am I doing? I'm going to take them swimming? Excuse me?
Nah.
No. I'm not doing that. And I don't want to get the whole city sick from your child.
So here are my few things. I'm just going to super go through my list. Video games and movies. I do want to have family time where we watch video games, where we watch movies and we play video games together. I grew up playing video games. I think they can be fun, especially like if it's a long winter. You got to find activities in the house that are fun to do that aren't just sitting in front of the TV. Watching a movie, I think, can be good, right? We're not going to binge a whole bunch of them. We'll watch some. In video games, you're actively participating and, you know, can help you figure out puzzles and all that, yada, yada, yada. Video games is fun. Lots of music in my life. This kid is already getting music. We're going to be playing music. We're going to be a musical family. We're going to be like, what's that movie? Sound of Music.
Sure.
And then
I'm going to rely on you with the video game stuff because I have, as people probably know, haven't grown up with that, and I don't know what's appropriate.
Oh, super easy. It's going to be mostly Nintendo for a very long time.
Yeah.
A lot of Nintendo stuff is age appropriate and family party games. And then shows that I watched growing up that I would like to share with my kid, Barney. We've already been watching a little bit of Barney. He's kind of put on Barney in the morning while I'm drinking my coffee and getting ready to do actual stuff. She doesn't watch it. She kind of like looks, you know,
how about George?
Curious George?
Yeah.
I never watched Curious George, but I'm down with Curious George.
Curious George is fun.
Magic School Bus. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Are you familiar?
Oh, yeah. This was actually my last topic was the shows that we grew up on.
Oh shit! I shouldn't be firing off.
We can do this, and then we can talk about the things we want to
avoid.
Snip out.
Mr. Rogers, Sesame Street, TMT. When she's old enough.
I love all the public access.
Yeah, PBS absolutely slapped.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't obviously. That's like in the US, and I haven't grown up with that, but I have seen a bunch, and I love it. I think it's really like good quality, and I think it's like fun for kids as well as parents.
Would it surprise you if I told you?
It's not like one of those that's just like so annoying if you were like the parent and you're just enduring.
Would you be surprised if I told you that the Republican Party tried to kill Sesame Street multiple times?
No, I'm not surprised. Was it Reagan?
Actually, I think it might have literally been. Mr. Rogers had to go on the stand and be like, "Hey guys, stop trying to kill PBS. Don't kill Big Bird." Yeah. So yeah, no, those TV shows definitely work.
I grew up with Tom and Jerry, and I don't know how I haven't gotten more violent from it.
I grew up with Tom and Jerry, and I Three Stooges. I did try some Three Stooges stuff. I ain't gonna lie about that. What are you trying to cut out? Because for the most part, I can't. Aside of just being like, I'm gonna try to be a little more attentive. I can't really think of like a lot of things from my childhood I didn't like. I did have this one thing my family used to do that I didn't like: forcing me to finish my food. I think. And I don't know because a lot of people do it to their kids, and it's confusing because I understand that like your baby needs to eat, you need to get that nutrition, and if you're not going to, then you'll be sick and you'll be scrawny and malnutritious. So you got to be on it. But also, I remember being like, damn, like I vehemently remember feeling like I am stuffed, and it was like I had to eat more rice, and I was like, I'm so full of rice, I'm gonna die.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely nuance to that.
So I guess
discussion.
trying to figure out how to delicately float through that one will be tough. But, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I think I was also forced to finish my plate. And, even if I didn't want to, I would have to, or I wouldn't be able to get out from the table.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I would just end up getting more food on the plate without asking.
Oh, I've been in your house. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bruh. Struggling through the plate, really forcing myself so that I can go out and play at last, only to just get more on there and oh my God, is this literally the rest of my life?
This is hell.
Yeah, so definitely not gonna do that to my child. But if she's not eating her veggies and stuff, I mean, something's gonna get done. Something's gonna go.
So yeah, I can't think of any other real pain points. But as we go, I'm sure I'll think of some.
Oh, I have some.
Okay, well, what do you got?
Actually, music is one of them because I didn't grow up with. I mean, I grew up listening to music, and my mom would just have MTV on all the time.
Yeah. And
so I grew up around music, but I never had music education. I never had an instrument at home. None of my parents would, know how to teach me, and I guess didn't feel like it's important to send me to a place or have an instructor. So I didn't grow up around music creating, and I think that's something that I miss from childhood. So I would want my child to have that, and I'm glad that you will provide it.
100%. But for me, I didn't grow up with an instrument. There was always a piano around. My uncle who lived above us had one, so I'd mess with it, but I never played on it. But my mom used music as a teaching tool. Everything I learned from song first. I learned my first phone number from a song. I learned my first address from a song. I saw, because I remember I was singing Emilie, and I saw my mom since we had the baby, and I was like, Mom, finish this. I was like, 1544 Hovey Street. And she's like, Gary, Indiana. And I was like, yeah, that was the song. So I could learn my first address so I could remember how to get home if I ever got lost. And then I learned my first phone number that way. So music as a teaching tool was always there. And then I think it was I don't know. I need to talk with my mom about it, because I remember we listen to music a bunch, and I don't know, would sing songs in the car and stuff, but it was never a music, we never were playing music until I started getting into music in junior high. And then we would do stuff we had Rock Band for a while, which was great. And my mom would play she'd sing the songs, and I'd play the drums, and Lee play the guitar. We'd do all that family stuff. That was fun. And I think that stuff like that would be cool to do, just to, I don't know, and listening to music and singing and playing songs and making up our own stuff. That'll be fun. Yeah. Even if she doesn't become a musician, it's just, it's good to do. It's good for the brain hole.
Yep. All right. I have a big one.
Yeah.
It's chores. I don't want my baby daughter to see me as, as a woman being the one doing all the chores.
This has nothing to do with her and all to do with us.
And because no. And we're talking about what our parents taught us.
Okay, yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm gonna snitch on my parents here. My mom was very conservative in this manner, where she just this role of cleaning around the house was just assumed by the woman in the house, and I was literally forced to always help her with, chores, which is fine. But she has 2 kids. Yeah, I have an older brother, and he never had to do any of this shit. And I, in fact, had to clean his space often.
That I think
and I'm
is crazy.
Are you, I hate it. I resent my mom for this. And I think that I also have this, I am very, I'm a very tidy person. And I'd
say a little too tidy.
If there is but it's because when there is clutter, it literally, I am incapable of existing and thinking and being productive around clutter, because since childhood I was made to always put it where it belongs, which It's not bad, but like it shouldn't be made to the point where you like literally can't cope with life.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I have like a mild case of OCD, and it's just like that annoys me. And I'm not blaming my mom for that, but I'm blaming her definitely for the fact that I had to clean for my brother, and like for my like dad, and like whatever messes they made, like I would have be the one to clean it up. I never understood it, and like later in life, I would see that like, oh, I mean, this is like gender roles. This is like so antiquated. Like, and now my brother is almost 40, and my mom still does his laundry because like,
Oh, whoa, snitch in, damn.
yeah, I mean that's what it is. Damn. And my mom like complained. I'm like, okay, you did this yourself. What are you complaining about? You could have taught him when he was a child how to do this. Like you taught me. I have the skill set now. I know how to do my laundry. I know how to cook. I know how to clean my house.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't feel bad for you.
No, I'm definitely there for that. I think.
So yeah, your task is to be seen doing these things.
Well, I already have to do them, and
Yeah.
obviously I get a helper if I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
come and help me. So
Yep,
I
yep.
don't. Yeah.
I just
Easy.
don't want our daughter to, if we had a son, then, I would incorporate them in like, cleaning around with me. But now that we have a daughter, I need you to be
If she's anything,
actively showing that you are doing stuff too.
if she's anything like me, then I think we would need to imprint on her the practical reasons for cleaning, which I think is good. Like,
I'm hot.
you're hot.
Yeah.
You can't take this off. This is a bra. We'll get demonetized. I think for me, like, so back in the day when I would cook, I would like cook everything and then I would just kind of leave the dishes, right? And be like, I'll come back to them later. And in recent time, I've started being like, well, the practical reason for cooking and then cleaning up the kitchen completely so that the next time I want to cook, I don't have to get through all that, right? Because for me, I'm okay with learning and doing something that I don't like if I understand the practical application. But back in the day, my mom would just be like, and this isn't her fault, this is my fault for being hard-headed. She'd be like, cooking isn't done until the kitchen's clean. And then when I moved out on my own, I'm like, fuck that. Cooking's done when I'm eating. I'm eating. I'm not about to clean the kitchen right now. And then it piles up and piles up and piles up. And then by the time it comes time next time to clean the kitchen, you're like, oh man, I don't feel like doing that. And literally, I didn't get that right in my head until years and years and years later, just to be like, okay, there's a practical reason for doing this. Not that we shouldn't just listen and trust our elders. You should sometimes. But for a person like me, I need to understand why I am being made to do something. Otherwise, I won't do it. You guys have seen Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off would have pissed me off to no end, and I probably would have stopped then and not learned it, this is a problem of me.
I don't know what.
So,
It's fine.
actually, is it? In one of the Karate Kids, it's the one with Jaden Smith. He keeps making him drop his jacket and pick it up and drop his jacket and pick it up and drop it. And he's like, wow, my God, why am I doing this? And then when they're training karate or whatever, he's like, check it down. And he just like instantly ducks. He's like, see, I was teaching you a skill, but I didn't tell you that I was teaching you a skill. I think that this is good for filmmaking, but not good for like actually teaching some people things. I need to understand why I'm learning to do the thing that I'm doing. So that way I'm like, oh no, then I'll care more. That's it. If you tell me why. I don't like to blindly follow. Anyway, I can't think of anything else that I'm really trying to cut out. Oh, she's got to learn how to swim. That's a big thing. I know y'all think a lot of black folks don't know how to swim. Get your mind right. That's not the case. I mean, it is kind of the case. There's a reason. We won't get into the reason. It's racism in the South. Anyway, the point is that in East Chicago where I lived at, there was this huge pool, crazy, 12 foot deep. If you didn't know how to swim like in the deep end, you wasn't cool. And I almost drowned one summer. My mom got me into swimming classes. I learned how to swim pretty early. And then for that next summer, I was at the pool like every day. And I loved it. It was bad, but I was there. I learned about sunscreen really quick. So like, I think that, I don't know. That's cool. Learning how to swim is just good. Being near water, by water, enjoying that. I mean, it comes along with the territory, but also the world's 70% water. If you can be easily killed by 5 foot of water, then you need to be reevaluate. We gotta make sure you're strong out here. Yeah, it does get them tired too.
Yeah.
If she wants to be like, do you remember that episode of Ozark where the daughter went swimming in the lake by herself, like at 6 a.m. in the morning? Not that. Yeah, she almost drowned, and she was like, ah. Yeah, it was. No,
I don't remember that.
it was weird. The point is that like don't do that. Be good at swimming. Learn how to swim, but do it safely. Don't get cocky. But I guess teenagers get cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got?
You have nothing?
My notes I couldn't think of a lot of things I didn't. This is my last one, really. I want her to learn
No.
one of my favorite words.
Talk about that last.
We'll talk about that. This is last. This is it. We're almost at the hour mark.
Yeah, but I am not done.
Oh, you said, do I have any? I just thought. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, I do want to put her in organized activities, sports. I mean, she's. If she wants to do band, she can do band. But I do want her to be in sports. If she's in band, she'll still have to do sports too.
Why do you want her to be in sports?
Because I want her to be physically active often. Like all of the things that I'm working towards.
But isn't there like PE in school?
Yeah, PE sucks. PE is fine, but you don't have to do PE. You know what I mean? So if you're all right, let's say in PE we had we'd have like who can run the mile the fastest, right? But there's no real consequence to not running it the fastest or attempting to be good at it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times in PE, especially a lot of the girls back when I was in school would just be like, oh, I'm not doing it. And they just wouldn't. They would just be like, oh, I'm just going to walk this mile or whatever, right? Because like the point is to like do the physical. You don't have to push yourself. You don't have to try hard. And I want her to understand what her physical limitations are. I want her to know what she can and can't do. And I think that being in the sport, she'll actually try. Like putting that competition element to it, it'll be like, okay, like, what can you do? You want to be in track and field? Bet. Like, let's see where your limits are. I think trying to learn that is good. I think that it builds a ton of muscle memory for when you're an adult. And I think that being physically active when you're younger helps you to be healthier when you're longer. I think one of the main problems that me and you have right now is that we're having such a hard time being physically active. You know what I mean? But if we would have had that, I did sports too, and you did too. And I mean, we're just all adults. So I don't know, just doing it while you're young might help you get that ingrained too. Plus, as a dual citizen, if she becomes really good at a track and field event, she might have a chance of being on the Czech Olympics. CP's brother was going to be on shot put for Germany. So, possible.
Okay. I'm not opposed to group sport, but I also don't want us to fall into the, I don't want to be the soccer mom. Really.
Yeah. Well, there's a good kind of soccer moms. But I know what you mean. But I'm not saying like super. I just want to be like, hey, here's the rule. The rule in the house is
obviously
you got to do a sport.
If she loves doing it, then we're doing it. But I don't want to be like, you're doing it because we want her to do it.
No, she gets to pick the sport, but she has to do one every year, like every year, ideally. And if there's a sport that's only half of the year, then the other half of the year you need to be doing another sport.
But can she do like art or like
you
painting?
can do all of that. She's gonna have unlimited child time.
There's a limited amount of time in a day.
Yeah, if only you knew someone who did sports and music.
You did sport?
I did do sport.
What kind of sport? Because as far as I know, you were doing football and then you went on to do band.
I did football and then I did track and field. So I would have done marching band through the summer, like the first half of the semester. And then in the winter and the spring, once spring started up, I started in track and field. But I just didn't keep up with it. And marching band is very technically a sport. I'm sorry, guys. It's a physical activity. And we did competitions. But like, I don't know, that's it. If she wants to do competitive rollerblading, I don't care what it is. I need her to be active. And we will find time for creativity as well. We will balance creativity and sports.
Sure. I want, like, one last thing. I want my child to be a little rebellious.
No.
Because I feel like I was taught to be very, keep my head down, be invisible, stay quiet. And I don't think that is a good way to live.
You are none of those things.
I know, because I didn't agree with it.
Okay, yeah.
But, I can see in my parents, they're both like very, I don't know how to describe this, non-confrontational, yeah. I would say. I'm not saying I'm confrontational. I'm not like looking for conflict, you know what I mean? But I will stand my ground if I have to. And I feel like my parents, my mom probably more than my dad would like just be like capitulate or just like
Yeah.
not engage and just go home, or you know what, something like that.
Yeah.
Where I'll be like, the fuck? The fuck just happened?
You've met the Florences. They're all pretty confrontational.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she'll have it in her.
Just kind of like stand your ground, you know, like if you see something, say something or do something about it if it's appropriate for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, don't just be like a passive observer of something wrong.
Yeah. Weigh the situation. Oh, calculated risks too. Because
Yeah.
that'll be a thing. Is that I remember my mom had a conversation with me about that. I was doing something dumb. I think I was trying to jump off a thing and do a flip or something. And she was like, let's talk about risk. If you mess this up, you'll be in a wheelchair. If you land it, it'll be pretty cool, but
Yeah.
yeah. What else you got?
I think that's about it. I know my parents are also just like, they were like scaredy cats about a lot of things. They had me when I was 20. They were 21 and 20. And then they had my brother when they were like even younger. So, they were kids too, basically, when they had us. And I think that led them to like be overcorrecting a lot of things and like being really like worried a lot of the time. So, I don't know. I feel like when it comes to, for example, like my brother, who wasn't really good in school, like he didn't have good grades, they were really worried about like what kind of job he would have.
Yeah.
So
What does he do now?
I mean, he like works in a factory.
What do they make at the factory?
But you will know when you work in a factory.
Well, okay, yeah.
I remember that he really wanted to be a cook. And I like remember when like they were deciding where he should go to like high school. There was like a culinary school, and then there was like one that would teach him like all this like the manual labor stuff.
Uh-huh.
And my dad was like, well, I can get him a job in a factory, so he's gonna go there. It's like the low risk versus like what would actually make him happy.
But I think that's just like, that's parenting on the whole. Because if you look at where I was when I was getting ready to go to school and going to college, it was a lot of the conversation too. My first degree was in music business, and like that was going to work out well. But like Jody got a degree in like philosophy or something like that, and everybody was like, "Why are you doing philosophy?" He's like, "I just want to." So I mean, that is the truth. Is that
but like philosophy can teach you a lot of important like skills.
It can teach you important skills, but if you don't have a plan on the back end for that, you know what I mean? Then, and I know that you don't need to always have a plan. I guess I understand what you're saying, and I also understand what our job is, and I also understand what we both went to school for.
Yeah,
but there's also
if
that
half
weighing
of
of
the
it.
couch of the normies graduated in philosophy, I'm sure that our conversations after episodes will be way more interesting.
I think, therefore, I spam. Well, yeah.
So that's it. I mean, I love my parents. I think that they raised me very well, and there's only very little that I would not want to bring to my daughter. And I think that the chores is like the major one, and all the rest is like pretty minuscule.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the speaking out is also a big one for me.
I think I'm cool with it all. I think we're going to do a pretty good job. Honestly, this whole parenthood thing's pretty easy.
I'm
We got
so
this
worried
sewed
that
up.
this podcast is going to age so badly when she's like 16. It's like, fuck you, Mom.
I would be, I mean, listen.
I will cry.
She's
That
going to be
happens.
black. She can't talk to you like that. It's impossible.
I will cry.
I don't know what it is. I think it's, maybe it's the threat of violence. I don't know. I didn't get spanked a lot. Probably not going to be spanking this
See,
kid.
me
any.
neither. I never got spanked, but
like-
I had so much respect for my parents that I would just like never.
I mean,
I would never go out of line. Like,
Yeah, I've been mad at my mom, but I'd never say, fuck you, Mom. That'd be crazy. The one time I cussed at my mom was when that kid was drowning.
I was there.
You were indeed there.
I mean, I never cussed at my parents. Like, I would never dare.
No.
And I like, they literally never hurt me physically. They never like even like emotionally like wouldn't hurt me in any way. But I just had like so much respect for them that I would like, I was afraid of them. I didn't want to like disappoint them or anything. I remember when like I got my first like bad grade, I was literally crying.
Aw.
And then like they came home and I just like started crying again and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
You know, like, kid, calm
They're
down.
like, what
You're such a Lisa Simpson, I swear to God. The last time that, and we can wrap it up soon, but the last time that my mom spanked me, I forgot what it was. I was like, I was being annoying. I forgot what I was doing, but I had done something, and I was like 16. And then she like slapped me on the thigh, and I was like, I was huge. And she was like, okay, I guess that doesn't work anymore. And I was like, no, you're right. I'm gonna go sit down.
Did you, before we close this conversation, did you want to talk about the N-word briefly?
Yeah, I think Millie gets to say nigga, I'm going to say on her 13th birthday. If she's saying it before then, we need to know what context. I'm going to say, hey, come here, little nigga. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Who taught you that? Where'd you learn it? I learned from watching you, Dad. Damn.
You literally just said it addressing her.
13.
13.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Well, we've already agreed to have the F word pass, right?
Yeah. Hold on. No. Yeah? Bum, bum, bum. Well, we're about to say goodbye anyway. My mom / the number one babysitter of all time just said there's no formula made, so we got to go. Remember, guys, this is the Chris and Ketty podcast experience.
First time caller, long time listener. Thanks for all the cake. You're listening to Cake, Chris and Ketty experience.